Hello everybody, welcome to the very first video of the Red Devil Republic channel. I'm your host, your fellow American Red Devil, Matthew. Today I'll be going along, why I'm doing this, and I also want to cover the whole week as a review because I'm a little bit late this week. So I want to do like a little bit of a breakdown analysis of the Arsenal game, a little bit on transfer news, and I want to preview for tomorrow for Fulham. I was hoping to do a live stream, but apparently you need 50 subscribers. So hopefully you guys can get me to 50 subscribers and I'll just do a live stream because you'll see I'm just going to post this. It's going to be no cuts, no edits, and just going to run with it and see what you guys think. Anyways, why I'm doing this, I tore my Achilles a month ago. So I was moping around for about 2-3 weeks, feeling sorry for myself. And I realized, hey, I got to provide for my family. I'm going to be in a bad spot if I don't. So one door opens, another door, or sorry, one door closes, another door opens, right? And yeah, I figured, hey, my Achilles injury took me away from soccer initially, and then now it's bringing me back. So it's a little bit of a poetic justice type of moment for me. I got into soccer when I was pretty young here, 6, 7 years old. Started playing competitively when I was 10, and I ended up getting into coaching later on. Played college, getting into coaching, a little bit of semi-pro, and I had to stop because I had bilateral tendonitis in both my Achilles, and it was just pain every day. So it wasn't worth it for me to keep going. And I think like 6, 7 years after that, that's been about 6 years. I tore my Achilles. So here I am now, full circle, getting back to what I love. I got into Manchester United when I was around 10 years old as well, when they were wearing those Vodafone jerseys back in the golden days when we were winning everything. I missed the 1999 treble, but got that 2008 where I think we won 5 trophies. So I think that was the most beautiful football I've seen to date. And I am really excited to join you guys now because I think we're finally turning the corner to what was, a really bad run of 12 years of football. It was really rough. So yeah, let's I want to show you guys how I'm going to support the manager and the players, and I want to breed like a non-toxic environment because I don't want to bash our players. I really want to uplift everybody because you could see the energy, you could see the spirit. Everybody's fighting for the badge, and Amarim's really brought along a group of players and an atmosphere, a winning atmosphere where everybody wants to be there, and you could see it. So obviously, like you got players like Garnacho, Sancho, Anthony. It's like green light on those guys because obviously what Sancho's doing is really bad, and Anthony as well. So, anyways, yeah, let's get into these notes. I watched this game twice, and I was really impressed right from the start. Arsenal's a really good team. It's probably the happiest I've been on a loss in a very, very long time. So, right off the bat, Delo made a clearance, and in Buemo, you see him fight for position, reading the play, and screens a guy, takes the ball out of the air, and drives forward into their box. And I'm thinking right off the bat, like Garnacho, Rashford, none of our wingers in the past would be able to do that technically or mentally. Like they're not mentally in that ball, fighting for position while Delo's clearing off the line. So right off the bat, good thing. And then Mount, I want to touch on Mount. I thought as a false nine, he gave Arsenal a ton of issues, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Mount tomorrow because I think this system is going to be very tough to learn for Sesko. It's going to take some time, so I'd be patient with that. I know we all want to see him, so uh, hopefully we do, but I wouldn't be upset if Mount starts again. He played fantastically well, but we got to keep him fit because obviously, he's a 60 million pound player when he's fit. When he's not, different story. So next, the corner kick, Arsenal took advantage of our keeper situation. They're always playing that ball right and on the goalkeeper even last year. So Bander's got to do better, but I got to give Bander props because his ball distribution, he did not miss a pass. So take what you get. He created some chances from the goal, two chances I believe. So at least we had that going for us. And on the other side, the corners were awful. Bruno's really got to work on his service. I kind of miss Eriksson because Eriksson really served up a good ball. Uh, and then the free kick in the 17th minute, Cunha was open on the top of the box. I was wondering if anybody noticed that, where Bruno shot the ball, and it was like 4v2, 4 United players, and Cunha was on top, 3 was kind of on the 2, and we had 1 on the other side of the wall that was being man marked with 5 in the wall. And I thought, man, Bruno just lay that off, one-time shot. Cunha gets way better opportunity on goal than Bruno would ever. But, he missed it. Bruno's got to see that. Next, 20th minute, we were playing a really high line. Kind of played a high line a lot, which we like. But when you lose it in the bad area, comes an issue, and we lost it in the bad area. But De Ligt stepped up at the perfect time, and I just thought, good thing that if that ball gets through, that's probably a goal. Next thing was, they didn't have anything really on goal until the 35th minute. Odegaard skipped through, kind of bouncing around on the sideline. He got past the Odegaard, he skipped past Casemiro, and shot one on and Bander held it. My bad. I thought if Odegaard passed it to Rice, there was a 3v2 opportunity. So I think everybody's kind of having that same issue where a lot of teams get this tunnel vision in front of goal, where we really experienced that last year. So, Garnacho and Rashford would get that way, where there's a better opportunity here, but we don't make that play. We're focused on scoring a goal. So I'm really hoping that Amorim can breed that type of unselfishness and awareness where we can make that right play, because we had 22 shots, and I think there was probably 20 more opportunities where we pissed away the ball in a bad way. In the final third, and it's also like this new players, so it's expected. But we had an opportunity to make a better pass, and we made the wrong pass. That happened 20 times in that game. So for us to do that to Arsenal, the best defensive team in the league last year, I thought, that made me really happy. So I think in time we're gonna improve on that. But tactically, we were far superior. Arsenal didn't really give us any issues at all, and our back 3 was phenomenal. Gayorkas really struggled. If we had a keeper that commanded the box, I think we'd be tied. Another thing I wrote down here is we attack in multiple ways now. And what I mean by that is something that I don't think we've had since Ferguson. And it might be crazy to say, it's probably early to say, but I've noticed we can combine on the wings, we can beat the press, we can build up, play possession, we can play counter-attacking football, we can do a little bit of individualism. Like there's ways that we beat teams, and we used to be very, very one-dimensional. So I'm super happy to see different ways of attacking. I think that's what Amarim's built. There's also a lot of pattern play that he does, where press is pressing, and then strikers kind of activate movement for the guys behind them, and we break the press that way. And then when they're sitting in and we're having trouble scoring, outside center backs are getting in and serving in crosses, and we got all 10 guys in the final third. Something you don't really see. So I love that. And then Amarim made a good sub. I think maybe the only criticism of Amarim was he didn't start Ahmad. But, Delot's a good player too, and he probably wanted to go a little bit more defensive. But Ahmad came on, gave them a lot of issues, and I thought Arteta really made a great counter to that. He took off Calafiore, who was on yellow, and brought on Lewis Scully, and that was a perfect sub, because I really thought either Calafiore was going to pick up a second yellow, or Ahmad and Mbeumo were going to torch him. Next, let's see. Yeah, Bander served a really good ball in the 55th minute. Cunha made a great touch, though. I think he made that touch where he skipped around him, but you see Arsenal's press is way up there, so it's calling for that pass, that killer pass to beat all, I think it was 6 or 7 players that pass beat, and then we're right in on goal. And we're gonna see a lot of that. We're gonna beat the press a ton, and I think teams are gonna start backing off of us, and it might be a good thing because if teams start getting scared of us, beating the press, we can start controlling games even more so. I mean, we controlled that game 61% possession. So I don't know. I see something very, very different now. Uh, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Oh, Ugarte. I watched this game twice. I think I said that. Ugarte really, the first time I was like so mad. Like, dang, what happened to Ugarte? And then I watched it again and I realized it was just two mistakes. I think there was that pass, obviously it was really bad, and there was a foul that he made. That was really bad. And I was like, okay. And then I saw the rest of this game. I was like, all right, that's just me being emotional. So I realized his game wasn't as bad as I thought. It was just that really bad giveaway and that foul. The rest of it was pretty good. He came on with a lot of energy, won some good balls. Was in the right position for the most part. Um, and then Sesko's first contribution was kind of late. It was 87th minute. His good contribution where the ball was Euro played the ball, kind of behind him, made a great touch and laid it off. Really good hold up play. I'm excited to see that. Uh, yeah, I think that was about it. All I wanted to cover. A little bit of preview for next week. I was kind of got into it, but I think Mount probably will start, and I hope people aren't upset with that because Mount's a great player. But hey, if Sesko starts, that's great too. And the only other position that I think is probably going to change or could change is Ahmad for Delo. And I think because it's Fulham and not Arsenal, I think we will put in Ahmad because we're a little less scared of them up front. So I think Ahmad starts, and I see goals. I don't know about you guys, but I see 3-4 goals. I'm gonna call it 4-1 tomorrow, and I hope Bander starts, but I think Onana might. Um, yeah, and then the final thing, transfer news. Layman's sign him. Sign him. We need competition for goalkeeper. I don't really know the player. I watched some highlights of him. He looks good, just young. I mean, fairly cheap for a goalkeeper. I guess that's decent price, but we need a keeper that's going to compete and going to be good for a long time. And uh, shout out to Goldbridge. The Goldbridge was kind of an inspiration for me. I know it's random, but he said something that I was like, you know what, you're right. He said that Onana was one of our worst signings ever, and I was like, I don't know about that. There's a lot of them lately, but then I thought, where he said De Gea just came off Golden Glove, renewed his security with the team, and we say bye bye to De Gea, and we sign Onana. And like at the time, I remember thinking like, okay, Onana had a really good season with Inter Milan, came off that Champions League game, and I was like, okay, well, at least we're signing a good keeper. So I'm not going to jump the gun on if Layman's is good or not because I guess you never know. Because I really thought Onana was a good keeper. I didn't want him because De Gea was so good and probably the best shot stopper in the world. But hey, it is what it is. Here we are now. I will say the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is Ineos. I know there's a lot of issues with the club, but I want you guys to think about the last 3 transfer windows and think, when was the last time we had a bad signing? And personally, my opinion is it was before Ineos. So I got to give Ineos props. I know there's a lot of issues. I know we need to keep protesting. Unfortunately, I can't do that from America, but I am protesting in my own way. I haven't bought a jersey, and I think it's been a while. It's been about 5-6 years since the Chevy one, the blue Chevy United jersey. I think that was the last one I bought. But yeah, we got to keep protesting and think about the signings that we've signed in the last 3 transfer windows. All of them have been quality. So anyways, guys, if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one for the Red Devil Republic. Please like and subscribe. Help me quit my job. I tore my Achilles. Maybe I'll show some photos if you guys want. Hey, 6 months. I got about 6 months of this. So I'm going to fully immerse myself and just do what I love to do. And I just realized my light has been off this whole video. I'm a dum-dum. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to run with it. All right, take care.